Well, yeah, another pickups video, let's do this. And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Raider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. If you're new on the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Now I did a pickups video last month and I usually wait a little bit until I make another one, but the truth is that guys, I did pick a couple of interesting stuff and I want to share them with you. And as you guys can see on the title, that's true. This is not just going to be about video game pickups, because I also picked a couple of toys. This is still new to me, still very fresh, but I'm in the middle of a process in starting out a brand new collection. But I will leave that to the end of the video. So let's take a closer look of my recent pickups right after this. Okay, first of all, these are not video games, but these are video game related. And here's the thing, guys, I'm not a huge memorabilia guy, but I do have a couple of stuff, related to that. If I like the theme, if I like the franchise, and if I have the space for it, well, I'm in. And I got these. These are keychains from one of my favorite franchises of all time, which is Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation. And I got a couple of keychains right here, featuring, my favorite characters of the series. First of all, we got our favorite Bandicoot right here, Crash Bandicoot. We also have the antagonist and rival Dr. Neocortex right here. And I also got the Guardian Masks, the good one, Aku Aku, and his evil twin, Uka Uka. This one is actually the real bad guy of the franchise. Well, to tell you the truth, guys, I still don't know what I'm going to make with these. I'm definitely not going to put them to use, but I don't know, I'll probably grab some nails and decorate this shelf right here with them. Who knows? Now let's put these two aside and let's check out a couple of art that I have right here. I got these through some friends and they told me that they went to a flea market and there was a guy there who is actually an artist and he was making these and they bought it for me. And I believe that these were printed, but the concept is from the artist guy. And the first one that we have right here is a little scene from Super Mario World. Then we got some Star Wars going on here. We have the Millennium Falcon. And last but not least, this is of course my favorite because it is related to my favorite video game of all time, Kingdom Hearts. We have some Kingdom Hearts stuff going on here. This was an awesome donation for the channel. And now I'm just going to frame them and find them a decent spot in my game room. So that's that. Now let's take a closer look of my recent video game pickups. Pick up this very cool collector's edition of a Nintendo Switch game called Shantae Half-Genie Hero. This game was my introduction to the Shantae franchise and boy was it a good one. I'm loving this game so far, I love the gameplay aspect of it. Definitely has this old school vibe to it. It is colorful, it is addictive. And let me tell you guys, the soundtrack of this game is amazing. Now this game in this edition was also released on the PS4, but I went with the Nintendo Switch version. And I did a full unboxing video of this collector's edition and I will leave the link of that video in the description box below for you guys to check it out. And let me know down below if you're a Shantae fan. Then I have a PS2 game right here, and this is a game that I got early on this year, but I totally forgot to talk about it in my previous pickups video. PS2 puzzle game called Jetix Puzzle Buzzle. And no, this is not related to Puzzle Bubble at all. It's Puzzle Buzzle. So let me tell you guys how I got this game. And first of all, I've never heard about this game before. And I got it on CEX. CEX is this franchise of game stores, pretty much like GameStop. I think you guys in America don't have these, but they're very popular here in Europe. I think that these chain of stores are originally from the UK, but I could be wrong about that. When I went to London a couple of years ago, I did find some retro games in CEX over there, but here in Portugal, CEX doesn't sell retro video games. With luck, you might find a couple of PS1 games, but that's it. Now, like in every retail store, and we're talking about second-hand games here, in these stores, CEX, you will find, a variety of games, but you will pay retail price. But about this game, well, I went to CEX like I usually do, every once in a while, and usually when I get there, I'm usually after, common stuff for the PS4, the 3DS, Nintendo Switch, brand new games that I just don't want to pay, the full price. Use modern games because, for that type of stuff, CEX is actually a very good option. And And although I'm not a huge PlayStation 2 collector, I always browse the games on the PS2 section because, let's face it, PS2 is one of the best libraries that you will find in the gaming scene, and it is a very cheap system to collect for these days. I will dare to say that it is definitely one of the cheapest ones. So I was browsing the PS2 games, and this one caught my attention for two reasons. The first one is that I've never heard about the game before, and the second one was because the price on it was €1. That's right, €1. Very decent shape, also came with a manual, and I took, just a quick look at the back right here, and for €1 I said, why not? And it turned out that it was actually a very good deal because, this is not an expensive game by any means, but it is definitely more pricey than €1. I went to eBay and I saw a couple of auctions where these games were selling out for around 10 to 15 euros, so hey me. And now if I think about it, 10 to 15 euros is actually, a pricey game for a PS2 game. But about this specific game, is it a good? Well, it's not bad. I mean, if you like puzzle games, it is a cool one. A very Japanese game, it kind of has this old school arcade vibe to it. You pretty much just stack up blocks and try to defeat your opponent. And I think that this game was based on a children's TV series. Now, I did a quick research about this game, and I don't know if it was a port or a sequel, but you can also find this game for the Nintendo DS. So if you like puzzle games and if you find this one for cheap, just grab it. And by the way, guys, about CEX and buying in these, second-hand gaming stores, the good thing about it is that, always browse through every game. Because it is true, it is retail price. Sometimes a couple of games are overpriced, but there's always this game that skips under the radar. Now, let's take a look at some retro stuff. Now, I got a couple of ZX Spectrum tapes right here. And here's the thing with the ZX Spectrum. When I buy these, I usually buy these in bundles. And with every bundle, I separate the stuff that I want from my collection and I just sell the rest of it. And usually the stuff that I look for when it comes to ZX Spectrum games are the, official releases. Because there was a lot of piracy going on back in the day with the ZX Spectrum. And from the last bundle that I got, these were the ones that caught my attention. And again, I've never heard about these games before. You guys know I didn't grow up with the ZX Spectrum, but it is a system that I just love to play and to collect for it. Now, the first one that I got, this is a Portuguese release right here, and I'm going to translate this for you. And what it says right here on the label is First National Championship of Computer Games. And it also says right here Zigzag. Now, Zigzag back in the day, during the early 80s, was a Portuguese TV show for kids. And of course, I don't remember that, I was not even born. But I think that they also got a couple of content related to, PC gaming, old school PC gaming. And I looked at this tape right here, and it looked like, a commercial release for the ZX Spectrum. But at the same time, it was weird to me. It was very intriguing, a very weird piece for me. So what I did was, I took a couple of photographs of these, and I sent the photos to my fellow friends and colleague here on YouTube, It's a Pixel Thing. And people explained me what this was. And this was kind of a commercial release of the games that were used at this championship here in Portugal. So this is kind of the NWC cards for the ZX Spectrum. And yes, there is a market for this. It truly is a little bit of Portuguese gaming history on a tape. But no, I'm not sitting in top of thousands of dollars with this one. They're rare, collectors want them, but it's around a couple of euros, I would say. And the other ones that I got were these tapes from Astor Software. Again, I didn't know if these were games or not, but it does have the Sinclair ZX Spectrum 48K on the cover. And I asked Pixel about these, and he told me that these tapes were usually used to clean the, the head of the tape deck. And if you guys see right here, the tape is black, like in, any other tape, but you have this yellow section right here. So this section of the tape would go through the, the tape deck and clean it. And, although this was not from my generation, and, it's very different from, collecting cartridges, but, it is also the reason why I love to collect for the ZX Spectrum. It is a very efficient system, very creative, and it is part of my gaming history, part of the Portuguese gaming culture, if you will. And it truly is an honor for me to be able to preserve this software. And I want to give a huge shout out and say thanks to my friend It's a Pixel Thing. I will leave the link of his channel in the description box below for you guys to check it out. Now let's switch to Nintendo. No pun intended. And no, it is not the Nintendo Switch, but it's the Nintendo NES. You guys know about me and the Nintendo Entertainment System. Again, it is a system that I didn't grow up with, but it truly is my favorite home console by Nintendo. I'm always looking for NES stuff, and yeah, it is kind of pricey to collect for it these days. As you guys can see, I don't have a huge NES collection, but I'm missing a lot of common stuff, and there are a lot of cheap games fun to play for the NES, and those are the ones that I'm looking for. Now, the first one, this is a game that I knew about it, but I never played it, and it is called The Adventures of Bayou Billy. To be fair, guys, I never played a game. I never watched reviews of it, but I did watch a couple of gameplay footage, and it looked like a fun game to me. So, did I enjoy the game? Well, here's the thing. First of all, I got it very cheap. The game looks fun, looks very original, but it is hard as f***. And I'm not kidding, guys. If you never played this game, well, the difficulty of it, we're talking about Battletoads difficulty. Yeah, but the thing with Battletoads is that Battletoads is one of those games that it is hard, very, very hard, but it is also very addictive, and it is one of those titles that, although you probably never beat it, but you are always coming back to the game. However, this one, well, the AI of the game is just stupid. And I want to play the game, I want to beat the game, but I still haven't managed to beat the first level. And I'm not even kidding, the game is that hard. So the theme of this game is very Australian. You're in the role of a crocodile hunter who is going to save his girlfriend. Kinda reminds me a little bit of Crocodile Dundee. Now, the original thing of this game is that you kinda have a combination of 3 different gameplay styles. The first one is beat 'em up, pretty much like Double Dragon. Then you have a racing section, and you also have a shooting section. But I never got the chance to play those levels because, again, I can't even beat the first level. And the graphics of the game are good, the soundtrack is good also. The gameplay is not bad, definitely not as good as Double Dragon or Battletoads, but it's not bad. But the AI of the enemies, I mean, it's just weird. And then it's wave after wave of enemies, and you know, each punch or each kick just takes an enormous amount of health, and you will find yourself constantly dying. I don't know about you, maybe it's me, maybe I suck at this game, but let me tell you, I'm good at beat 'em up games. I'm good at Double Dragon, I'm good at River City Ransom, I'm very good at Final Fight, I'm very good at Streets of Rage. But I can't beat 3 waves of enemies of this one. Still, I'm not saying that it is a bad game. I still have hopes for it. Maybe I will try to beat it with save states, who knows. But let me know on the comment section below, guys, if you've ever played this game. Now, this next game, it is a game that, again, I heard about it, never played it. And I didn't have a lot of high expectations with this one, but let me tell you this, guys. This game is officially part of my top 10 video games for the NES. I'm not even kidding, I'm loving this game. It truly is a hidden gem on the system. Oh boy, I'm talking about Jackie Chan Action Kung Fu. A very, very cool action-adventure Kung Fu platformer game featuring Jackie Chan. Now, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Jackie Chan, but aside from the title screen, guys, this game doesn't have a lot to do with Jackie Chan. Could easily be a game about Schwarzenegger or Jean-Claude Van Damme, but we're talking about early 90s, that's when Jackie Chan got real popular, especially in North America. I think that this game was released around the time of Rumble in the Bronx, so this was a late release on the NES. Now, first of all, the first thing that will immediately grab your attention about this game is its colors, the graphics, and the size of the sprites. We are talking about huge sprites on the NES. This game almost looks like an early release on the Super Nintendo. You know, the size of the characters, the animations, it's really impressive for the NES. The controls of the game are amazing, the gameplay style is fun and addictive, the Imaginarium of the game, Ancient China. I mean, it just blends really well with the whole theme of the game. And as you can see, it is a game by Hudson Soft, which means that it is a hard game, but it is that type of difficulty with a learning curve, so it is not frustrating. For me personally, I'm a big fan of the Hudson Soft games for the NES, and the difficulty challenging of this game, it is really the sweet spot for me. Although I still haven't beat it yet. Let me tell you guys, after beating this game, I will definitely make a review about it because, this is a great game on the NES. And again, a very cheap game to get. So if you manage to score this, just pick it up. Okay, so we're almost done here. We are reaching the last part of the video. And again, as you guys can see by the title of this video, I did pick a couple of toys. I'm not going to talk or reveal a lot about this, guys, because this is actually part of my future plans of the channel. And don't worry, because I'm not going to change the content. This channel is and it will always be a gaming channel, especially a retro gaming channel. But I do want to expand it a little bit more than that, and I definitely want to bring other types of content to the channel. Because my life, my passions, and my hobbies, it is just not about video games. But I'll make a future video about that, so about these toys. That's right, I'm starting out a brand new collection. It is not going to be a generalistic toy collection, it is actually going to be a very specific one, because I just want to collect this specific line of toys, which is my favorite toys of all time. These were my favorite toys back when I was a kid. Now, if you guys were born after 95, you probably don't remember these, but this line of toys is called Mighty Max. Now, the reason why I started collecting these, it's because, I still have my original toys from back in the day when I was a kid, and I'm in the middle of the process of, getting rid of a couple of them, because I don't have space to all of it, but I definitely want to keep a couple of them, including my Mighty Max toys. Now, but these ones right here, I got it very recently. I never owned these back in the day, and these ones were actually called the Doom Zones. But again, I will talk about that in a future video. But just to put you guys into context, well, Mighty Max is a line of toys by Bluebird Toys, which was a company of toys in the UK. And Mighty Max, well, was kind of the brother of Polly Pocket. Bluebird's Toys developed Polly Pocket, which was huge among girls at the time, and Mighty Max was kinda the boys' version of Polly Pocket. Unfortunately, Polly Pocket is still around, but Mighty Max isn't. So these are micro play sets, and when I say micro, these are tiny, tiny little toys. And on the outside, you would get this evil head. It could be a skull, a zombie, in this case is a dragon head. And when you open it up, you have a little bit of a scenery going on here in a cave, like a dragon's den. This was actually part of Series 1, and then I have one right here from Series 3. And instead of a head, you have a scorpion. Now, on the outside, it is, a very cool looking scorpion, but on the inside, like the previous one, is a playset. Now, this one is a little bit tricky to open up. Just give me a couple of seconds here. And here we go. And you have a micro playset inside. Then you get some figurines. For example, like this badass looking scorpion right here. This one is like a Robo Scorpion. We also got a main villain of the set. And the star of the franchise, a Mighty Max figure right here. There were different variants of Mighty Max. For example, this one has a different cap, as you guys can see. This one was part of Series 1. And this one right here, as you can see, Max is a little bit taller, like a teenage one in this one, and a child on this one. This is part of Series 2. It also has a slingshot going on. And the best part about Mighty Max is the background story. So Mighty Max, or the Mighty One, has a cosmic cap. That's right, a cap. This cap allows him to travel through space-time. So each individual set is a different adventure. Mighty Max also had two companions, Virgil and Norman. There's a main villain in the story which is called Skullmaster. And when it comes to the toy line, we had different sets, different shapes, different sizes. These ones are the most common ones, probably the ones that most of you back in the day will remember. And these are called the Doom Zones. You also had a couple of smaller ones which were called the Horror Heads. And then you also have, these huge massive ones which are called, the large playsets. Now, if you guys remember the Mighty Max toy line, you probably remember the Mighty Max cartoon. There was a very popular Mighty Max cartoon from the early 90s, and it was actually a commercial success, and still to this day, it is my favorite cartoon of all time. Some of the sets spawn episodes on the cartoons, some cartoons episodes spawned a couple of playsets. Mighty Max also had a video game, that's right, The Adventures of Mighty Max. It was released on the Super Nintendo and Sega Mega Drive/Genesis. Although the video game, it is not very good. You also had Mighty Max comic books by Marvel. It had a Tiger handheld game, lots of merchandise, a board game. So yeah, it was big during the early 90s. Now again guys, I will give you all of the updates on a upcoming video. But the plan here is to make a series here on the channel just talking about Mighty Max, the Mighty Max line. I will make individual reviews of the sets that I have, you know, talk a little bit about the toy line, about the whole franchise, about the video games, about the cartoons, you know, just a little bit of nerd talk about Mighty Max, I guess. So please let me know down below guys, because, you know, your feedback is essential for the growth of this channel. Just let me know down below what do you think about this. Let me know what you guys think about me reviewing, you know, a couple of these sets, a couple of these Mighty Max sets. And also let me know if you want to know more about, you know, different hobbies that I have. You know, stuff like music, movies, cartoons. Do you guys want to know about my background as a dungeon master of the Dungeons and Dragons games? Because I don't know if you guys can see right here, but this shelf right here, almost half of it is Dungeons and Dragons books. I also collect Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. I also paint miniatures. I also make, you know, scenarios for the game. You know, I build dungeons and terrain from scratch, you know, using wood, using styrofoam. I paint everything. So please give me your feedback on this, guys. Let me know if you want me to expand a little bit the content of this channel. And about today's video, well, this is it. Let me know what you guys think about my recent gaming pickups, and also let me know what recent games did you guys add to your collections lately. Also let me know if you guys collect vintage toys, and most importantly, let me know if you guys remember Mighty Max. Did you have Mighty Max toys back in the day? Did you used to watch the Mighty Max cartoons? And are you guys Mighty Max collectors? Let me know on the comment section below. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game and play a lot.